Hi. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to sit down and talk to me. I really appreciate it, and I'm really excited to be here. So, thank you. Um, yeah, we can get right into it if you're ready. A little bit about myself. I am 25 years old. I have recently graduated from NAIT, or the Northern Alberta Institute of Technology, from the Business Administrative Program with my specialty in finance. So that was really exciting. I have lived in Edmonton almost my whole life. I did live in Penticton, British Columbia for a little while when I was little, which was awesome. So beautiful there, so warm. I love the warm weather, so always nice when I can get back there. I really love hockey. I'm always watching games. I don't know if you like hockey, but watching Vegas not win the Stanley Cup was a little upsetting for me, but I'll make it through. And I love to travel. I'm always weekends or whenever I can get away. I love seeing different parts of the world and how people act and just the different sites. I really, really enjoy that. Um, my qualifications for this job. Well, like I said, I did just graduate with my degree in finance, so I got a lot of good education on budgeting and any sort of accounting. I learned a lot about the programs and a lot of real world situations, which was I found really great and made me very, very comfortable leaving NAIT. We had a lot of situations such as public speaking, and we did courses in everything, which I think really helped. So again, like my specialization was finance, but I did a lot of accounting courses. I took communication classes. I took, just a little bit here and there, which really gave me confidence in all areas. So that was awesome. While I was finishing up my degree, I worked at Edmonton BMW in the accounting department. So I dealt with accounts receivable. So I learned a lot of great things there. I dealt again with a lot of budgets, a lot of numbers, Excel spreadsheets, some of the accounting programs. So that was really awesome. Just kind of dip my feet in and say I like it. And I managed a whole bunch of accounts and just getting payments and closing accounts and dealing with all the accounts receivable, which was great. I also learned how to kind of work a banking system from a company and kind of what goes into that and how to manage those funds as well. So that was good. My boss was great. She was always helping me, she was the coordinator, so she knew everything. So I was always asking questions, what she was doing, what her next move was. When we do things such as year end, we'd have to kind of close out the whole system. So that was really neat. So I got to do that a few times with her. So I feel like I learned a lot, and I feel like it kind of helped me get that experience while I was in school, so I could kind of coordinate what I was learning in school versus what I was doing at my job. So that was awesome. Have I ever had a conflict? I've definitely had a conflict. I think conflict is natural in life and it's going to happen as long as you're working around people. I was a manager of a restaurant, of Earl's actually, for quite a few years. So I had to deal with a lot of conflicting personalities and stuff like that. So one main one that stands out for me was when I started at a new location. I came out as the assistant general manager. So kind of coming into a new store, you don't know many people or a lot about that place yet, but you kind of have to just go in and show people who you are. And so I had one girl who was extremely tricky to work with. Anything I said, she had something negative in response, or if I would ask her to do something, she didn't want to do it, or she would roll her eyes, or she'd go and talk negatively about the situation, or it was a different thing every single day, but it was creating quite a conflict with me and her and the other staff who were getting involved. So I had to kind of tread lightly on this situation because I knew she was quite a difficult personality and she was very strong-willed. So I kind of just took some time, I step back, kind of not take it personally, and realize there's probably more to this than I think, and I need to hear what she has to say. So what I did was I got her to sit down with me one day when we were done work, and I just kind of let her empty her cup. So I asked her what was going on with her, what was happening, what was going through her head, and why she was so resistant to what I would ask for her or what I would say of her. And I really just let her empty her whole cup. So I didn't interrupt her. I let her just say what she needed to say and really get that out. And when she was done, I proceeded to say how I felt about the situation. And, you know, we went back and forth a little in a very positive way and talked about how we could move forward and how we both could respect each other in a way and what we needed from each other to move on and have a really good, respectful working relationship. And, you know, it took some time, but we had that sit down, we had that background. So if we were ever in another tricky situation, we kind of just like knew what the other needed and we moved on. And eventually we did become friends and we had that very good responsibility to each other and we're very respectful of each other. So it all worked out pretty good. My greatest weakness. One of my greatest weaknesses is I tend to be way too critical of myself. So if something goes wrong or I'm not happy with the outcome of a situation, I tend to be very tough on myself. I work very hard and I tend to care a lot. And so when things go negatively, I take it quite personally and I tend to get upset. So I have to remind myself that mistakes are okay and we're human and it happens. And the next thing is how we learn from it and how are we going to fix it. So that's something I've become very good at doing. So I catch myself and I'm like, okay, it's okay. What are we going to do now? So I think that's really important. My biggest strength would be I am very good at taking feedback. I think this is a struggle for a lot of people, and it used to be a struggle for me as well. I used to take feedback very negatively, and I thought if people were giving me feedback, it was because I was doing something wrong or I wasn't doing good enough. And again, it was that criticalness on myself. And so over the years, especially working at a restaurant, and we're always getting feedback. Things are changing all the time, and people are changing all the time. So it's important that you take that feedback well. So I can take it great. I love feedback. I'm constantly asking for feedback now, and I know feedback is a tool that people are helping you grow from. And if you take that feedback and learn from it, you can only go up from here. So I think feedback is extremely important. Stressful situation. I've been in lots of stressful situations. So some of my action plans and what I do when I get into a stressful situation is I really just stop. I stop in the moment, like, okay, take even 10 seconds just to think about what's going on around me and what's happening. So next, once I get kind of process what's happening, I just review all the options I can think of. So what's going to resolve this? What parties are involved in this situation? What outcomes does each party want? What are all the possible outcomes that could happen under these circumstances? And you have to make a call sometimes. And so, you know what, you got to think that, yeah, it is stressful, but once you figure it out, it's over. So I just really take those 10 seconds and just stop and think. Don't make any rash decisions. And I think it can only go up from there, right? So yeah, stopping and thinking. That's my number one in a stressful situation. Well, thank you so much. I do have a few questions for you. My first question is, could you tell me some more of the daily responsibilities of this role? Awesome. And what are your expectations for this role? Cool. And then lastly, what do you think are the most important qualities for someone who would be taking on this? Awesome. Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much. I really, again, just want to thank you for taking the time to talk to me and kind of answer my questions, and I hope I answered all of yours. And I look really forward from hearing from you. Thank you so much. I'll see you later.